Oh, it's totally different looking this way than sitting in the front row. Yeah, give me a second. Thank you to all my friends and colleagues for joining me here tonight, most especially to Maya Zeev and Maria Pasciuto, who actually do all the heavy lifting on the production of the anthology. It's incredible. Thank you to Madeline McIntosh, the CEO of Penguin Random House, and Allison Dobson. There you guys are. President of Penguin, who have actually been fans and sponsored this anthology, been fans of this company, this organization, and sponsored this anthology for years before I was involved. So thank you for allowing me to continue it. Thank you very much. A huge thank you to Molly and Maya at Girls Right Now. It's an honor to be alongside these incredible women. And truly, this honor is all mine. It is mine and actually Miss Viva's, my 5th grade teacher. So as I thought about this organization and what I was going to say tonight, I thought about the mentors in my life, and one tiny, tiny woman stood tall among the rest of them. She was all of 4'10". And I was in 5th grade, and even then I knew that she was small. And she was my 5th grade teacher, and she ended up changing the trajectory of my life many years over. Those of you who know me may find this hard to believe, but I was painfully shy growing up. I was the girl that hid in the back of the class and was like, please don't call on me if I don't raise my hand, if I don't look, maybe I can hide. Math and science, for that reason, came a little bit easier to me. There was one right answer, one formula that I could quietly write down. I didn't have to raise my hand or express myself or an opinion. So when Miss Viva decided to give us a poetry lesson one day, I literally froze. And I can still remember it to this day. I can close my eyes. I see that blank sheet of paper with the lines. I see all of my classmates writing furiously around me, and everything is just blank. I couldn't come up with even a subject to write about. And when I think about it now, it's sort of akin to when you accidentally send an email to someone it should have gone to, and it's like the bottom falls out and everything goes black and you're like, what did I just do? That's literally what it felt like back then. And I don't know what Miss Viva noticed was going on, because I'm pretty sure nothing was going on. But she came over and she crouched down by my desk and she calmed me. And she told me to just come up with a picture in my head, just one picture. It could be anything. And I managed to spit out the word lightning somehow. And she sat there and she said, okay, what does it look like? What does it taste like? What does it smell like? And write a paragraph about it. And she stayed, crouched down next to my desk while I wrote that paragraph. And then together, we crossed off all the extra words, the ands, the ifs, the buts, the ors, and we physically rearranged it on the page until I had a poem, and it was called Lightning. And I can't tell you how proud I was in that moment. I had actually written something. It really opened up a whole world to me that I didn't know. I didn't even know to what extent that would be the case. Again, this was 5th grade. She pushed me to be bold after that and submit it to an award. I didn't win, but that's okay. And then a couple of years later, she published a book on how to teach creative writing. And there, as the first chapter opener, was my poem in writing. And it was my first time being a published author. And that was only elementary school. Miss Viva, even back in 5th grade, opened a door to me that I may never have discovered without her encouragement. It turns out the joy I discovered writing my first poem and expressing myself in a completely different way is something I would come back to again and again. So skipping ahead to college, because this would take a really long time if I went through everything. I found myself at this same crossroad. I was strongly encouraged by an engineering professor to go through math and science. At the last second, I veered and I became an English major. And it wasn't easy for me. The formulas worked for me. But I traded those for deciphering William Blake's mythology. There were many, many late nights alone in my room where I wanted to pull my hair out and scream, I don't get this, what am I doing? And then truly wanting to follow in Miss Viva's footsteps, I actually became certified to teach secondary English, which required me to stand up and teach in front of my peers. And though I never ended up pursuing teaching, I do think that's what broke me out of my shell from being that shy girl in the back of the classroom. I think it's finally when I got comfortable talking in front of a group, though I don't feel so comfortable right now. When I was about to graduate college, I had a teaching gig all lined up. And I had an internship at Penguin, and they called at the last second and said, could I come work for the publicity department? At this point, teaching was starting to feel relatively safe. Lesson plans, structure, and what I would have to do is go to New York and cold call media and pitch them books. And it's true. I remembered Miss Viva's lesson. I remembered take it one step at a time, and I thought, okay, I'm going to be bold. I'm going to do this for 1 year, and if I hate it, then I can always go back to teaching. That was 20 years ago. And I am happy to say it was the best choice I ever made. I'm surrounded by people that are smarter than I am. I get to publish writers, thinkers, communicators, creators, like all of you. And though it can be a challenge sometimes, I still love what I do every single day. So as Girls Right Now embarks on their 3rd decade, I can't help but think back to over 30 years ago, and the 10 minutes that Miss Viva took with me to go the extra mile. I am not a writer, but Miss Viva gave me a voice that I did not know I had. And she gave me the courage to follow what was for me a harder path, but one that has brought me pure joy. She gave me the gift of creativity, communication, and taught me how to challenge myself. Girls Right Now helps over 600 mentees a year, and through STARS, over 5,000 girls. Not to mention, they're doing this in a moment where helping young women speak their truth is more important than ever. If 10 minutes with Miss Viva could change the path of my life, I can only imagine the resounding impact of the lifelong mentorships Girls Right Now facilitates. Thank you to this organization for fostering such long-lasting mentor-mentee relationships that go well beyond just writing. Thank you to the mentors for helping these young women blaze their trails into the world. And thank you to the mentees for being brave enough to think big. You guys are the reason we're here. Thank you.